Hello everybody and welcome back to Bandwagon Sports. Today I'm going to be bringing you the fourth prospect profile video of the season, and this time it is going to be on the USNDP's best, Logan Cooley. And if I'm going to be honest with you guys, I wasn't super high on Logan Cooley heading into this season, if I remember correctly. I definitely know I had guys like Frank Nazar, Isaac Howard, and Seamus Casey ahead of him in my opening rankings. I really did like what Logan Cooley did last year in the U17 and the U18 leagues for the USNDP. But overall, this is a guy who's really been super good this year. Just an offensive dynamo, and he should go top 5 in this draft. And I really wanted to make a video on Cooley because he surpassed my expectations slightly. I think he is definitely doing better than I thought he would. And this is just an overall great prospect. So without further ado, let's hop into today's video. So let's get Logan Cooley's basic information out of the way first. He was born May 4th, 2004. He plays center. He is 174 pounds, 5'10", a respectable frame, definitely an NHL-ready frame in my opinion. You know, if he was to step on the ice, I wouldn't think twice about it. He's born in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and he shoots left. And also what's kind of intriguing to me is he only has one ranking outside of the top 10 out of the 13 that I see here, and that is ranked number 11 by Draft Prospects Hockey. So in terms of Logan Cooley's other rankings, I did do the calculations just for you guys. He has an average rank of about 4.9, and that is across 13 different scouting services / websites and / scouts like Craig Button. But, I mean, it's not a coincidence that Logan Cooley has a 4.9 average rank. I mean, it just tells you how good he is. He has 3 number 2 rankings, 2 number 3 rankings, and a handful of number 4s and 5s in there as well. He's really just a great player overall, and his rankings show it also. So, I keep talking about how good Logan Cooley is, so I'm just going to go ahead and tell you guys the stats now. So, in 38 games played, Logan Cooley has 20 goals, 29 assists for 49 points. He also currently sits at a plus 26 and 20 penalty minutes for the USA U18 program. And we can even go back to last year and take a look at some numbers in the U17 program. In 28 games played, he had 16 goals, 16 assists for 32 points. I can't do math, but oh well. And in the U18 program, he had 19 games played. He had 4 goals, 10 assists for 14 points. And even as a 17-year-old last year playing in an 18-year-old league, I mean, 14 points in 19 games is nothing to scoff at. He definitely had some great production in there, and I watched some clips of him last year, and he was really good looking. He was very impressive. And this year, it seems like he's just stepped it up to another level, basically sitting at 50 points now. If I'm being honest, he'll probably finish with around the same amount of points as Sasha Pastujov for last year's draft, and overall Logan Cooley is just putting in the work, he's putting in the numbers, and it's a great season for him statistically so far. And also I think it's worth mentioning that next year Logan Cooley does have a commitment to the University of Notre Dame. It's only a 1-year commitment, so he'll be there for the 22-23 season, and then after that I think he should definitely make an NHL team. If not, he'll just go to the AHL. No big deals. But also looking at a guy like Cooley, he is really undersized, as we know, sitting at 5'10". I mean, it's not really undersized, but it's still not huge. And one of the big strengths in Logan Cooley's game is his two-way dynamic performance and his great face-off percentage as well. Look, currently Logan Cooley this year is putting up some really good face-off numbers, some really good defensive numbers. He's looking really good in the defensive zone, and in the face-off dot, he's almost unbeatable. I don't have the percentage, but just watching highlights and reading scouting reports and hearing it from other people, Logan Cooley is so fantastic in his own zone, in the center dot, and you match that along with some great offensive skills as well, a huge offensive IQ, a great shot, a great passing game. I mean, Logan Cooley will literally give it all to you, and sitting at 5'10", it is so rare to find undersized guys like Logan Cooley who can play all 3 zones on the ice, who can play their own zone, you can play the neutral zone, you can play the offensive zone at a high efficiency and a high level, and Logan Cooley is one of those guys, so it may raise his draft stock a bit since he can obviously play some defense and is a great face-off taker along with his great offensive skills. And also the offensive creativity and skating in his game, and also the defensive maturity and just the overall maturity he shows on the ice really impresses me personally. I mean, having a 5'10" center who can do everything for you, and I mean literally everything, Logan Cooley, I think scouts can take a look at a guy like Logan Cooley and kind of compare him to Shane Wright in the same draft class. Shane Wright is obviously a lot bigger than Cooley and might have a bit more potential, might have a bit more of that offensive explosiveness, maybe a bit more of that maturity. But in terms of a 2.0 kind of Shane Wright player, Logan Cooley is a player that every team wants, and Shane Wright is the same thing. Logan Cooley is just not as big and maybe a little bit worse than Shane Wright, but if you're picking from that 2 to 10 range, I definitely think Logan Cooley is an interesting player to pick up. I mean, just with everything he possesses, I feel like Logan Cooley's just bound to be an NHLer. I mean, he's just so good at everything he does. It's really hard to kind of talk about and explain because there's just really, it's everything. Everything is just so great with Logan Cooley. There's no flaws in his game. The only downside that I can really see in drafting Logan Cooley is he's not going to be ready for next year. He obviously has that commitment to Notre Dame, and sure, that might scare some teams away, but it's not like Matvei Michkov where you're going to be waiting 4 years to get your, second overall draft pick. Logan Cooley will be ready a year after the draft, which I think is pretty fair. I think a year at university is going to be really good for his development. I feel like he can go there, just focus on polishing his game a bit more so that it is a bit more NHL ready, and he should be ready for 2023-24 without a doubt in my mind. So in terms of what I project out of Logan Cooley, I really see Logan Cooley as this great first line two-way kind of Patrice Bergeron level player, not quite to the same extent. Obviously Cooley's also smaller than Bergeron, but I just feel like it's a Patrice Bergeron light kind of player, a Shane Wright light kind of player. Shane Wright light, I kind of like that. That's cool sounding. But yeah, I mean, I know I said in my mock draft that Logan Cooley's defensive game could use some working on, and to that point I didn't really research Logan Cooley a whole lot, but yeah, this is just the overall all-around package, and I had him going number 4 to Montreal in my most recent mock draft a couple months ago, and I definitely have him going around the same area, probably that 3-4 range. I don't know if he's going to go number 1 or 2. I feel like there's at least one player, maybe 2 players better than him, but in terms of just overall package and overall skill and potential, Logan Cooley has some of the best potential in this draft. He has some of the best tools in this draft, and he's a two-way forward to go along with it, and two-way centers are just hard to come by as it is. That can do everything, and Logan Cooley is an elite level two-way center, so that raises draft stock just like that. So overall, I don't know where Logan Cooley will go. I don't know where he's going to be drafted, but if I were to predict, it would definitely be somewhere from that 3 to 5 range. I think that that's pretty fair, and that's probably where he's going to end up projecting, for me at least, throughout the rest of the season also. And if I were also to choose 3 teams to project Logan Cooley to go to get drafted by, the top 3 for me right now in this order would probably be Buffalo, Montreal, Arizona. In terms of Buffalo, they just traded away Jack Eichel, so they obviously have that number 1 center hole to fill. It's not going to be an easy one to fill, but I think Logan Cooley is a really good fit in Buffalo. I feel like he can do everything. Jack Eichel could do everything. It's kind of the same player. Just a good replacement for Jack Eichel in my opinion. Number 2, Montreal, Nick Suzuki, Christian Dvorak. Both of those guys I feel will be better suited as second-line centers in the future. And for Arizona, they need everything. So if Arizona drafts Logan Cooley, hey, it's a good pick. And that is going to do it for this video. I know I said in my COVID video, my return video, that I was going to upload a lot more consistently. Well, that hasn't quite worked out, but I am just finishing up semester 1 of my final year of high school right now, so it was kind of a stressful semester. I had a lot of math to deal with, and I hate math. I suck at math, so that was really tough for me, but semester 2 is starting up, so I should be good to go with that. I should be uploading a lot more. At least that's my hope. And also some big news, I am going to be starting up a second channel. I will leave the link in the description if you want to go subscribe to that. I would greatly appreciate if you do. If you want to look at more of my personal life, I'm going to be doing like vlogs and stories and stuff. And my personal life is a lot different from what you see on here. I am a pretty fun person, if I do say so myself. So I'm going to have some pretty cool stories and some vlogs and maybe some pack openings or something on there every once in a while. Like, I don't know, man. It's just going to be a jack of all trades channel. So be sure to go subscribe to that, and also subscribe to this channel, leave a like. you can't tell, I really can't talk right now. I don't know why. This video literally took me like an hour to make because I just cannot speak. I can't get the words out of my mouth properly, but nonetheless, thank you all so much for watching this video. I greatly appreciate everyone's patience. I mean, even when I don't upload, we're still getting views, we're still getting likes and comments and subscribers, so like, I don't know, man, like, it's just great. But thank you all so much for being here, so much for being along for the ride, and I will see you all in the next one. But for now, bye.